Merab Dvalishvili is your new bantamweight champion, and Sean O'Malley proves once again why he isn't that guy. So, as always, let's talk about it. Okay, let's start off with the elephant in the room. That is obviously talking about the sphere as a whole. And let me just say, it was perfect. I don't know how they could have made it any better, and it really was a spectacle. And if this really is the only time that they ever do in the sphere, which I highly doubt it, I'm praying, Dana, please do it again. This was fantastic. It was such a spectacle. It was like a different experience. The way they told the story of Mexican history, the intros of the fighters, the way the fights were showed. It was a bit weird that it was only one side of the crowd, so you could hear the fighters and the coaches a bit more, which personally I enjoyed more, but I have seen other YouTubers say that they didn't like that. But honestly, what a spectacle. It's one of those things where you can only really appreciate it if you got to watch it. And I mean, I never get to watch it live, but I really got to enjoy it while watching it on the stream. But honestly, congratulations. Like, the UFC really smashed it out the park. Okay, let's talk about why you clicked on this video. Right, so Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. The fight, for me, was very entertaining. I've seen a lot of people online saying that they found the fight boring or too slow. But what did you expect? Like, Merab is that type of fighter where he just drags the fight and he'll just overwhelm his opponents with takedown after takedown and volume. He's a volume fighter. That's what he is. And I don't understand what people thought. I think maybe because of the spectacle of the event, they expected a spectacular fight. But I don't know. I feel like you all were deluding yourself with that. But let's talk about the actual fight. So, the start of the fight, in round one, for some reason, Merab was already fighting with Sean's corner. I think it had something to do with how, I can't remember his name, but Sean's coach told Eljo go. Which Eljo says he didn't hear in the fight, but anyways, a lot of people think that's what got Eljo to rush in and eventually knocked out, but let's not worry about that, right? So after Herb Dean had to just step in and tell them to focus on the fight, essentially, the fight started off a bit slow. Merab got one great takedown and then a submission attempt, and that was about it really. The first 2 minutes or so were just feeling each other out, and then as always, Merab just held him down, and he easily took round one in my opinion. But anyways, okay, round two pretty much went the same way. It started slow and then they were feeling out each other. They had a few hits here and there, but then Merab again took Sean down, and at the end of the round, a lot of people saying Merab weren't taking the fight seriously at the end of the second round, and I'll tell you why now. But even Merab said he just wanted to break Sean. He wanted to break his character and show that he's dominating the fight. The reason why I'm saying this is because Merab started kissing Sean for some reason on the neck while he was choking him out. And then he lost the time, he let him go, and then Sean hit him with a few good punches before the end of the fight. But
hey, stop that!
yeah, that was a bit weird, but I think it was just Merab being Merab. He's always been that jokey, fun character, and he's just doing that in the ring. He's still being himself, showing that the pressure didn't really get to him, unlike someone else we're going to get to just now. Round three, I think, was pretty interesting. Both fighters fought really well. In my opinion, this was the closest round, and this round I gave to Sean. So going into the championship rounds, I had it as 2 for Merab and 1 for Sean. But let me know what you think about that. Round 4, Sean looked like a broken man. I don't know if he broke mentally or whether he just realized he was losing this fight, but it didn't look good, and he looked slow. He looked sluggish, like he had flat feet, like he was heavy. I don't know what happened. I don't know if mentally the pressure from the event got to him, but round 4 was not a good round. But round 5, on the other hand, was great. Sean, I don't know if Sean was afraid to throw his front kick, which is such a big part of his arsenal with his weapons, but he landed some very good body shots on Merab that really hurt him towards the end of the round. And I don't know if he was scared to throw them because he knew that Merab might grab his leg and take him down. But I feel like if he threw his body shots and his leg kicks and stuff that he normally does from the start of the fight, then maybe the fight would have went a bit different. I still think Merab would have come up on top, but maybe it would have been a bit closer and a bit more interesting. But now, let's talk about this fake Conor McGregor, right? First of all, Sean has never said that he is the next Conor McGregor or anything like that, unlike a certain Ilya Topuria, who I do like, but anyways, I digress. I think the moment got to him, honestly. I think having the weight of such a big spectacle, such a big event, yes, in terms of it was the UFC 300 or something big like that, or International Fight Week, but to have the main event of the spear relying only on his shoulders to sell the fight, because Merab was going to sell the fight, but he was never going to be the biggest draw. Sean is the draw. Like, let's be honest, we all know that he's the UFC's second biggest star after, in my opinion, Alex Pereira. I think he's the biggest star. I don't count Conor McGregor as a fighter for the UFC anymore. Until I see him in a cage or in a press conference, he doesn't count. I mean, we'll talk about him just now, about how he lost the Chandler fight. But I don't know if it was the pressure or what, but honestly, I feel like a part of it might have been good for Sean. Like, I know there's no way to say that losing your title is a good thing, and no one wants to lose the title, and no one thinks that's going to be good for their career. But I think in terms of him as his own well-being and mental health, maybe it was a better thing. It will allow him to step back for a bit, maybe not take a long break, because he didn't really take much damage in this fight, and then come back. I don't think he'll get an immediate rematch. I do think it should be Umar Nurmagomedov, and I think that's going to be a great fight. If you want me to give my predictions for that fight, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, I think Sean needs to take a little break, maybe about 4 or 5 months, come back, face someone else lower down, and then just not necessarily work his way up. Maybe he versus Figueiredo or something. But yeah, I think he fights one more opponent, and then he'll be right back in the title picture, and then he can build up that stardom again, because a lot of people still have a lot of respect for him. I personally have more respect for him from this fight because of this clip.
People, my mom too, she's like, "What? Why? You just weren't the same. Like, what was wrong?" I'm like, nothing. I just got beat. There was nothing. Everyone keeps asking me that. Like, what? Something seemed off. Something seemed different. Or flat-footed. It's like there was nothing. Zero excuses.
And as you can see, he has no excuses, which just makes me like him more. And I know a lot of people didn't like him previously. Maybe it's because of his outgoing character or his hair or whatever. Or I know a lot of people didn't like him because of the Peter Yan fight, which, remember, he's not the one who gives the decisions. He didn't choose to win that fight, and he never claimed, like from the get-go, that he won that fight outright. He was always humble and said he had to watch the fight back, and that really made me a big fan of his. So as much as I'm sad to see Sean lose and maybe get the step back, because I am a big fan of his, I love this for Merab. Merab he deserved it, because let's be honest, if Merab lost this fight, he wasn't going to get another title shot. Like, with all the shit that he pulled on the build-up of the fight, with the cut, with the staph infection, if he lost this fight, he wasn't going to get another one. And now Dana has to deal with two heavy wrestling champions in Merab and Bilal, so we're going to see how that goes. But yeah, as we all expected, the card won the best. The fights were interesting, especially the co-main and the main event. They kind of let it down in terms of the excitement and fun, which were the fights that we thought would be more interesting, but what can I say? But yeah, the spectacle was amazing. I really hope Dana goes back to the sphere, maybe down the line for the next International Fight Week, or maybe UFC 350 or something, you know? But honestly, Dana, please go back. That thing was amazing. But now, as I mentioned, Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler is now officially off. It's not happening. Maybe down the line, but honestly, you gotta feel sorry for Chandler. Like, McGregor, yeah, whatever. It's his fault that the fight's off, right? Okay, yes, he broke his toe, but all his drinking and all of that, it's just like, you can't stay away from it. So it's when we'll see him, if we'll see him again, I don't know. But yeah, Chandler wasted 2 years of his career where he could have made so much money from fights, because he's a very active fighter, very exciting. Yes, is he on a losing streak? No, he versed Ferguson. And yeah, but now he's versing the Bronx again for a rematch, which I think is going to be a really good fight. But I see it going exactly the same way as the first. The Bronx is going to finish the fight. Chandler will come out guns blazing in the first round. He's going to knock down the Bronx, which you know you should never do, because that's when he awakens his power. and then he'll finish him in the second or third round. But for Conor, I don't see who he fights next. Like, realistically, Chandler was the best fight for him, someone who's going to trade with him, who doesn't necessarily have the strongest chin, but would be fun. He can't verse Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje will destroy him. Poirier, I guess you could do it again, but do you want to see it again? Like, not really. Who else? He's definitely not going to fight for the title. He's not going to verse Islam. He's not going to verse Arman because they both will destroy him. So where does he go from here? Do you think we'll even see him again? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what you thought about the UFC Sphere. As I said, I personally loved it, and I really hope he go back. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you think Merab should verse next, who Sean should verse next, and let me know what video you want to see next. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one.